reflect from that game in St. Louis? Just how are you feeling being back in Utah and looking at the season as a whole?
Sorry about that. Looking at the season here, I think it's been a fun year personally. I think it was a fun year for the city and the organization, and a special one. Obviously, I think the team made a ton of great strides, ton of growth. You know, obviously not the end result, but this team's just going in the right direction and obviously on a great path.
You know what's next for you?
Golf. Got some decisions to be made here. Don't exactly know what the future holds hockey wise, but would love to maybe stay in hockey if we do end up not playing, but we'll see. Obviously got to make some calls here, but again, just very thankful for the career I've had and the opportunity to meet tons of awesome people in this game. And that's what you ask most guys what they got out of this game and their careers. It's just the people. Hockey's a special game, and all facets of training staff, teammates, media people, fans. It's just it's very unique in that regard.
And obviously, your time in St. Louis we saw was super special to you. How cool was it to be part of an inaugural season, though, as potentially your last year? Who knows?
Super cool. I feel like if I do stop playing, I'm the first alumni. I could start maybe a little program or something. But obviously it was a special year. I'm obviously thankful to the organization for letting me be a part of it. They're in a great place fan-wise. I was blown away by the reception of being in that rink and the fans and the passion. And I think it's only going to explode in this area, and youth hockey will get bigger. And you obviously got a great team here, so that's got to be a good feeling for the city and the organization. And again, not the goal, but it was still a special season in my eyes.
When you eventually move on, whether it's this year or later, do you see yourself getting into coaching, management, media? Like, is there a route that you want to take?
I'd kind of like to learn what a lot of these roles do first, and I don't know. I enjoy the media aspect. I enjoy working with young guys. It's I can't say I haven't thought about it a lot, or asked guys, or asked what certain roles do, but obviously got to put a little more thought into it.
You're a hockey player as your identity for so long. Again, unsure what will happen, but is it weird to think about who Robert Bortuzzo is if not an NHLer?
I don't know. It's a deep question. I haven't done a ton of reflecting. I guess we're gonna find out. I think I'm pretty similar, whether as a hockey player, as a person who's just out there in any career. I think that comes from my parents and my family and how we were raised, and hopefully some of the things that your hockey identity carry on to whatever you do next.
When you first signed with Utah, was it you that reached out to Bill, or did Bill reach out to you and say come in?
I don't remember how that went down, but obviously very thankful. We obviously had the St. Louis connection, and tried to provide. I know I didn't play a ton of games, but tried to provide something. Whether it's coming to the rink with enthusiasm, or still putting the work in, or still trying to get better at this age. Hopefully some things rub off some guys, but obviously very thankful to Bill and the organization.
A good career, a Stanley Cup. How would you assess Utah's potential based on your time in the league and what you think they can do?
A ton of potential. Whether it's the young guys, whether it's organization's commitment, they're on the right path. I spoke a little bit about the locker room and the culture that's going on in there. That's rock solid. I've played on a lot of teams with strong culture and strong work ethic, and there's a ton of desire to get better from all the guys in there. Cooley, Gunther, Kells, these are your best players, but they're also some of your hardest workers. And that seeps right through the group. You have a ton of veteran presence, so made some great additions. Stenlin, Colsey, The list goes on. So it's a great mix of, work ethic, talent, which you obviously need and have here. So they're in an awesome spot, and, city's obviously going to be a big part of that, and it's exciting for everyone.
As someone who's won the cup before, what do you think the team needs to be able to get over that, or to take that next step, I guess, toward the cup?
I think they made big steps this year. You could tell from the commitment defensively. That's a huge thing, I think. I had a lot of players around the league talk about how skilled and high offense and high octane this team is, but to me, we're a solid defensive hockey team, and for winning Stanley Cups, I always thought that's, you look at the teams in the end, they're very solid defensively, and I thought we grew into that this year. I thought we played our systems, very well, and to me, I bet you we're a top 10 team defensively, and to me, that's what it'll take to win in the end.
Thanks, sports.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck.